Hi, my name's Joanie Eisinger. Welcome to my channel. If you'd like to go to my website and find out more about me, please go to jonieswhitelighealing.com. You could find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. You could find me on SoundCloud. I have written and recorded songs of my own, and I've done covers, scratch demos. One day, I'm going to have a CD. You could find me on Facebook. You can message me and let me know how you found me because I don't friend strangers. Please like my Joanie's White Light Healing fan page too. So regarding YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Press the bell icon that says all, and you'll get notified of all the times where I put out videos. Please like and share and comment. I love hearing from y'all. And I am taking requests for topics to cover. I do love readings. I do readings for the collective, and I can't do the astrological signs. I mean, I bet I can, but I don't have a background in it. So I'd be saying the different signs and then just bringing in whatever spirit has. I might even try that, and then I'd need feedback from y'all regarding how accurate it is. And regarding these videos, I am bringing in the highest of Christ-like consciousness. These are the enlightened ones: archangels, angels, ascended masters, guides, departed ones. We've got consciousnesses, we have star beings and elementals. They come in through me as one voice. Joanie puts herself aside and they come in as a channel. If this resonates, fantastic. If it doesn't, please just shelve it. It might resonate at another time. Spirit, creator, source, God, all that is, divine mother, father, God, whatever you want to call the one that created us all, that we're all part of, knows who will be watching this video. So this is for you. I do not aim to cure or heal. Please check out the disclaimer below. So this is part 8 in my 8-part series on addictions. And I've decided to devote this to the following, and I have my cheat sheet on my laptop screen: exercising, bodybuilding, plastic surgery, and home improvements. So these are all the ways that you are seen and people see you. So exercising, bodybuilding, plastic surgery is all about the physical body, and home improvements and all the decorating is the extension of you, which is your home, and that's the exterior as well. So addiction, I use the term loosely. I strongly recommend seeing a mental health care professional or a medical professional if you need assistance. I used to be a therapist. I was a drug and alcohol counselor, and I was a psychiatric social worker. So I have a lot of background in this area and compulsive behaviors and abuse and addiction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each topic and find out for the collective what the underlying motivations are, the energetic reasons, stuck points that got people to become addicted to these behaviors. So first I'm going to go into compulsive exercising, folks that are addicted to exercising, and they find that they are not in balance and that they are focusing a lot on that, and there are other areas of their life that are lagging. So I'm going in. Here we go. So I'm getting a lot of this. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. So some of you were told you're doing too much. And if you've got a glass of water by you, please start sipping, because they are already working on you to help release energies that do not serve you. So you were told you're doing too much. Some of you were told you are too much. You are full of it. Other people were told that they're too big. Some of you were told that you're just right, but you didn't believe it, or you didn't feel quite right in your own shoes, and you're trying to get it just right. And the exercising is like a tweaking, and you're just like constantly chasing it to try and get your body to look a certain way because you don't believe what that person told you. Then I'm also getting, there are people that are doing this because they have to get rid of something. They're trying to release something, extract something. They're trying to throw something off, get rid of, trash it, eliminate it. And they're channeling it through their body, possibly excess water, possibly excess energy, possibly excess weight, and some or all of the above. But there's something about, I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of it. Get it out, get it out, get it out. I don't want this. There's a lot of metaphor here, folks. I'm going to keep going in regarding the exercisers. There are a bunch of perfectionists, and they're going, damn, sorry, I had something on my tongue. Damn, I can't get this right. I can't get this right. And there's this perfectionist and doing over, and there's a little bit of competition, but it's like a battle of wills, I think more so within themselves. They're possibly overanalyzing things, maybe competing with themselves. There's some self-destructive behavior. Yeah, there's the competitor. And I can't get it right. I can't get it right. Suffering, a lot of suffering. And then I see there are people that are trying to bulk up. So they're in competitions, and they're getting me into bodybuilding, but I'm still in exercising. So some of you who are exercising might be going into bodybuilding. They want to look a certain way. So they're stuffing and stuffing and stuffing, and then they find out that they gorged, and then they got to exercise that shit off. Power plays, muscling up. There are people that are fanatical about exercising because they're consumed with their looks and their health and their diet. And there are some people that hate themselves, and they hate who they are, and they believe that the only way to love themselves is by exercising, and that they got into such a jag with exercising, hoping that if they just keep exercising, they'll love themselves, and that it got out of hand. Loving oneself doesn't come from that activity. It comes from knowing who one is and being peaceful and reminding oneself that all is well and that they're a God spark and sacred and holy and blessed. And to start and to do affirmations that would lead one to ultimately get to the bottom of their self-hatred. Meditation would assist in that way, where you get very still and then all of these upsets come up and they need to be faced. And I always say, see a mental health professional, preferably one that is by word of mouth. Keep going in to get more regarding exercise. There's a lot here. There are people who are running and they're trying to get away. There are people that are involved in exercises where there's repetitive motion and it mesmerizes people and gets them almost out of their body so they don't have to think about what's going on. There are a lot of troubles. People are moving from what's going on to more of a euphoric state. So when they exercise, the serotonin levels go up, endorphins kick in, and they're feeling really good. It's like that heroin high. So there are people that are escaping from their sadness. So if you can identify with any of the things that Spirit just brought up for you, you're not alone. You're very human. You've gone past the limit. So exercise is recommended for everyone, yet you took that as a panacea, as a cure-all for what you're going through. So it's a really good idea to take a look at what's bothering you, and to sit down and process it and find ways to address the issues that you are avoiding through exercising. I'm going to see what karma there is that would be incurred possibly. So if you are compulsively exercising, it's possible in other lifetimes that others made you do a lot of work. And so this exercise, this repetitive exercising, I believe is replaying possible slave labor that you were doing, and it's gotten compulsive, and it feels like it's like you're the slave to the weight machine. And it's a lot of tunnel vision, that you might have blamed your master, you might have blamed the one that was the overlord or worked you terribly, and you went to your passing with unforgiveness, and now you have a do-over here, and that this exertion of energy replicates when you were a slave. So that could be for some of you. I'm going to keep going. I see a lot of self-hatred. So if you hated yourself, you could come into this lifetime and hate the way you look and feel that you constantly have to improve the way you look because you never forgave yourself for your incurring karma towards self, towards your hating yourself for the way you look then. And you might have had others tell you that you were hateful, you were just repulsive, and that you blamed them, blamed yourself, and that you come in again the victim, and now you have to exercise that all off. So you are, in essence, exercising off what they said. You're trying to make yourself right because you feel that you're off and wrong and twisted and possibly ugly. Then for the competitors, there's something from other lifetimes where you had to prove things to people. And so here you are again, and you're proving to people how great you look. Some people want to look tough. Other people want to look cutesy. And then it went into your head, and that the compulsion is now rattling around in your brain that you must do this in order to ... And you have to fill in the blank. What are you avoiding? Let's get rid of karma. That's the unforgiveness towards self and other, from all lifetimes across time and space where you might have tripped yourself up, where there's now a bleed through effect into this lifetime that is holding you back from getting better and taking a look at this and slowing down to ultimately get in balance with exercising. Forgive yourself. Forgive everyone and everything. Ask for everyone and everything's forgiveness and thank God for these life lessons. So there's someone that I'm getting, they're just being casuals, like a twig, and they're watching this. And they're suffering, and they're not eating well. And they need to put on a few pounds, and you need to see a medical professional, see a counselor, that the compulsive exercising is hurting you, and it's affecting your head, and you don't think right. And I see sometimes you get dizzy and you're very weak. Your speech is sometimes off, and you need to address this, that there are underlying issues that bring people to do this, and that you're not alone, that this is very common. So you have a lot of angels that work with you, but you do need to do your 3D earthly work by getting help. Okay, I'm now going to go into bodybuilding, and I'm going to see what's up with that type of addictive behavior. It's a lot of me. So there are people that are starved for attention, and that they're trying to get the focus or the spotlight on them. There's a lot of pain and suffering underneath a lot of the people who became addicted to bodybuilding. We're not saying that bodybuilding is bad. We're talking here about compulsion. We're talking about imbalance. So if any of you have gone past the limit and that you are thinking about it, you're dieting, you're doing your protein, whey stuff, and all these amino, this and that, and charged carb, Red Bull, anything, whatever you're doing, fasting, eating, and the whole business. And it's taken over and you're finding that you're crazed in the head about it. Again, get help if you believe you need to. Underlying issues I'm getting from spirit is that you haven't gotten enough attention and that there's neglect here and that you have been neglected and or you neglect yourself and that the bodybuilding appears as if it's filling in the hole, the gap, but it's not, that there's something that's missing. It is attention, and that the attention is love. The attention is getting your needs met. It's acknowledgement and recognition, and that you veered into bodybuilding as a way for people to notice you, when in fact, what needs to happen is you noticing yourself inside, not on the exterior. First, you notice how beautiful you are on the inside, and then after that's all taken shape, no pun intended, then you could work on the outside. They say you are a blessed soul. You are redeemed. You are gorgeous. You are the sun, you are the moon and the stars, and that you don't know this yet. And that when you put down the weights, when you put down the machines and you sit with yourself, you might cry. You might find that you notice that something is missing. And that's what we need to get to here, the bottom line. So you come into this lifetime, you might have been neglected, you might have neglected others, and this is karmic debt. Whatever the case, you might have been neglected here. And it streamed into a compulsive behavior of bodybuilding. The object is to find balance, that stasis, that set point, the right in the middle center for you. I'm going to see if there's more for you, for all of you that are doing the bodybuilding. Let's see. So Spirit wants me to just clarify that there is the love of the physique and health and good times and winning awards or being seen and complimented, and that's all fine, and good health is wonderful. It's for the souls that are off and not balanced in this area. I'm going to see more about the underlying dynamics regarding bodybuilding addiction. So they also give me the face. So you want to be the face, the one that people see. You want to be known like a rock star. That's okay. But it got out of hand. So a lot of it, again, has to do with attention and me, and wanting to be recognized, acknowledged. The attention wasn't given to you, and you haven't been giving yourself attention the way that's needed. Let's get rid of karma. Across time and space, forwards and backwards across all generations, where you've neglected self, where others have neglected you, and possibly where you've neglected others, and now you have that self-neglect feeling, and you're compulsively bodybuilding to avoid the internal work that needs to be done. And we ball up all of these lifetimes, and you say inside, I forgive myself. Yeah, there we go. Forgive everyone and everything. Ask for everyone and everything's forgiveness and thank God for these life lessons, and have a sip of water. So that's huge. So some people have memories of competing and barbells, and I see suffering, and I see swords and knights and competition and Olympiads, and I see a lot of jousting, and that this brings back memories. There are other lifetimes where folks were really involved in javelin throwing and discus and horse jumping and power, a lot of javelin, and that you come into this lifetime real sporty and you want to do this again, and it gives you a thrill. Get it in check. That's what Spirit is saying. Find the midpoint, find the balance. You'll feel better. Okay, now I'm going to go into those that are addicted to having plastic surgery. Here we go. Very interesting. So some of you might think that a person who has plastic surgery wants to be seen, but I'm actually getting the opposite. I'm getting that the person wants to be hidden, that by changing their appearance, they are cloaking. That's not me. Who are you talking to? I don't know what you're talking about. This isn't I. Who, what? That's a stranger. You, who, what? No, that's not I. Joanie thought that maybe it would have something to do with facial recognition, with wanting to be seen more, when in fact there's a hurting soul underneath that's covering up who they are, not wanting to be known, not wanting to be seen. So there's something very paradoxical that just came out in this channel. So Joanie's way surprised right now. I'm going to go in for more. I also get habitual lying to self. That by putting on another layer somewhere, taking off here and moving it there, adding, subtracting, moving, shifting, the body doesn't recognize these parts as their original light body. They're distortions of truth, and they become lies to the self. So the person lies to themselves. They're cheating. They haven't worked for it. They have someone else do it for them. They don't want to be seen. Then I also see there are other people that feel special, that they know that they are in God's grace by having the ability to do this, that they feel that they are above others and that this is their right to change the space in which they operate, meaning that their spirit is occupying the space, the body, and that they are able to alter it, their physique, and others can't because they have bucks. And some people want to show off that they're able to contort, twist, misshape their body. And mind you, this isn't judgment. This isn't Joanie. I'm channeling. So others would feel that they're better than they are, that they are better than others. They would feel that, so they do this in order for others to feel that they are less than they are, or that they are better than the others. Suffering again, sadness, discontent. Now they say repeat performances. A lot of people keep plucking and twisting and twitching and putting on and taking off. They're trying to get it right. They don't feel good about who they are. And by constantly switching up how they look, they're trying to perfect what they feel is broken. So they feel that they are broken, and that by doing plastic surgery, that they become whole. And so a lot of the people who are doing this don't feel that they are complete, that they're whole, that they're well, that they're already perfect. So I've said this before in other videos. I believe that we are all part of the oneness, and we are perfection, and we are glory and grace, and that we are beauty and glorious, rubies, diamonds, and emeralds, and that we all look different because we all have been journeying differently. We all exploded from the oneness, and we've been traveling and incarnating in infinite places all throughout creation, and we just have picked up all different looks. We might all generally have one look. Our essence, our light body resembles a certain kind of snowflake. Each person has a different snowflake or geometrical figure, structure. But we're all beautiful in that way. Then we get born, and the veil of forgetfulness comes over us, and we forget that we are part of the oneness, that we are pieces of God. I believe we're God sparks. And so people start feeling different and strange and ugly, perhaps. They either say it to themselves, or they were told that, or they're just, they might have competition issues, perfectionist issues. Social media has us believe that we have to look a certain way. So plastic surgery addicts might be very caught up in believing that they are broken, that they are wrong, that something is so strange about them, and that they need to be better, superior, perfect. It's all about loving ourselves. I'm going to see if there's anything that Spirit has to say more regarding this. Some people are telling doctors take it all off, that they're excising, they're cutting off so much because of not wanting to be who they are. And that people are eliminating pieces of themselves because they think that if they extract the pieces, they'll be better. Go inside, folks. Love yourself. You are unique. There's a reason why you came into this lifetime looking the way you do. And that when you ultimately pass, the veil will lift and you will have a memory of why you chose this body. And you'll be surprised. We all are going to be surprised why we chose these imperfections, which are perfect. Let's do the karmic work for those that are having these alterations. Cross time and space, forwards and backwards across all generations, wherever there's any plastic surgery issues that would lead one to feel that as a result of plastic surgery, they feel complete, yet underneath there's been suffering, discontent, feeling broken, imperfect, strange. Forgive yourself. Forgive everyone and everything. Ask for everyone and everything's forgiveness and thank God for these life lessons. And have a sip of water. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of healing going on. I feel this, and it's wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to get to the home improvement, folks. So many are being addicted to home improvement. There are people that redo their kitchens over and over, bathrooms. They just keep going, constantly renovating, decorating and renovating, changing out. I'm going to go in regarding what that means and why. What I get is this won't do. This won't do. This just won't do. This won't do. This won't do. So there's dissatisfaction and needing to replace. We can't have this. This could have been a mother, a father, a caregiver, a teacher. Oh, we can't have this. This won't do. It's a statement that what exists isn't okay and has to change, which is similar to everything that we've been talking about, more like the plastic surgery, possibly the bodybuilding, but this is about the external. This is about the environment around them. This is, we can't have this. This isn't correct. So there's dissatisfaction, discontent, and that nothing is good enough. You might have had a parent who told you in some way, either yourself, that you weren't good enough, or that there was something that was never good enough. There was something, could have been the other parent, you're not good enough. The house isn't good enough. The neighborhood isn't good enough. My job isn't good enough. Good enough. This won't do. And I see it rattling in your guys' brains, just rattling around in there. Let's see if there's more. What's underlying this addiction, this compulsive need to do home improvements and decorating. Some people were sloppy, and by doing home improvements, they feel that they're neatening up their life. They could have been lazy. They could have been sloppy. They could have been told they were lazy and sloppy. They could have had parents tell them that, but they weren't. You could have done that in other lifetimes where you were lazy, you were sloppy, you weren't neat, you weren't organized, or that you told others that, and now this is karmic debt. Now this is in your head, rolling around in your head. And I'm seeing this tidying and this fixing and this neatening up. Fixing. Not good enough. That's the big theme here. It's not good enough. I'm not good enough. This isn't good enough. You're not good enough. We're not good enough. That isn't good enough. And it's constantly changing and to try and get it right. And you end up chasing this. It's a chasing to get it right. So until this idea settles down and you realize this is a lie that you told yourself or was told to you, or maybe it's from another lifetime, you're always going to be unsettled and chasing, that nothing would ever be good enough. See if there's anything more. There are people who are fickle regarding spending their money, and they don't quite know where to allocate their money. And they're spending money in this area, but they haven't spread it out and thought about other things that they could do with their life. So it's very, very, very focused. It's a narrow focus on one thing. And there are some people that are bitter. Well, if I can't do that, then I might as well just decorate over and over and just keep refinishing and renovating because they're stopping me from doing this, or I can't do that. I might as well just do this. That's anger, and there's a little bit of get back in there towards other. I see pent-up frustration. I see some people are doing this because they have anxiety, anger, and that they're getting it out by constantly being busy and watching people work, and they have to feel that they're doing something. Some people are bored. Ultimately, I'm seeing a discontent. These are discontented individuals. It might be you that are empty and that they're filling, and that if their external world, if you just keep trying to fix it up, everything else is going to get better. I'm going to feel better inside. So this gets back to the exercising, and really it's all of this is that when you feel good inside, then your body and your external environment, that'll settle in, and then you'll be able to see it more clearly as to what is balance, what is taking care of it without going overboard. Let's get rid of the karma regarding home improvements and renovations addiction. Across time and space, forwards and backwards across all generations, all the lifetimes that led you to this. Well, that won't do. It's not good enough. Or I'm bored and I'll show them. Well, if that's all I can do, then this is what I'm going to do instead. Forgive yourself. Forgive everyone and everything. Ask for everyone and everything's forgiveness and thank God for these life lessons, and have a sip of water. So between now and when you go to sleep, for all of you who have been involved in this, in doing the forgiveness work, sip water. It'll help flush negative energies through the physical body. Some of you enjoy being strong, and that is very, very important. This doesn't mean that you go from an exercise addict or a bodybuilder to weak. Remain strong and balanced. I hope this video that I just did assisted. I hope you enjoyed this 8-part series on addictions. I don't believe this is going to be the last time that I'm going to address that. I know there's more to talk about with alcohol, and there's more to talk about with drugs. I have so much more to say regarding so many other topics. There are so many questions that I have as Joanie that I want to explore, but I would love for you to give feedback. You could give feedback here in any of the other videos regarding what you'd like me to address. If you want me to do more love readings, that's fine. I will. That seems to be like a hot topic. And I can also do finances and abundance and career. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again. Bye, y'all.